Hello everyone, and welcome. Last weekend, we had a snowstorm hit. We got a little over a foot of heavy, wet snow. There's no way I could make it out here. Then on Wednesday, we got warmer weather with some freezing rain, then sleet. Wet, frozen, nasty. And I'm worried about the camp roof because that snow was heavy. Now, once again, I have to shovel out my parking spot. The plow has been by and left me a nice frozen bank. Not going to be an easy job. But Anne wants to come out this weekend. So the plan is, I'm here today. I'm going to shovel this out. I'm going to make my way down to camp. Make sure the roof is okay. If the roof is okay, tomorrow morning, Anne and I are coming up here and we're going to spend the night. So the car is parked. Took me about an hour and a half just to break up all that ice and shovel out enough of an area that I can get in there. I'm partway down the trail. I have a shovel at the cabin, but it's a plastic shovel. I decided to bring my square shovel just for today. That way, if the ice is too stiff, at least I've got something that I can break the ice with instead of that plastic shovel, which I'll end up breaking. And I leave the sleigh here. I'm right around the corner from the cabin. And it's going to be too hard to try and walk and film and pull the sleigh and do everything. So let's go have a look and check out the roof. And then I'll come back and get the sleigh. Well, it looks like it's okay. Oh, and this isn't bad. Because I had shoveled out quite a bit before leaving, there is some snow, but not as much as I thought there would be. But the door is now frozen in the snow, so I can't even open the door to go in and have a look. Let me get the shovel, and I'll shovel that out and we'll see. I shoveled away the snow that was holding the door closed. Now I'm about to go have my first look inside. Why don't you come along and we'll have a look together. Hopefully the roof is fine. Let's go find out. Well, there's no snow in here. And the roof has not changed. Perfect. But I think when that storm hit, there was a lot of wind. And I think it blew most of the snow and kept most of it off the roof. I shoveled around the camp just around the campfire, I cleared out an area so that we can cut some firewood tomorrow, because we're getting low on firewood. That's the whole point of this weekend, is to cut firewood and spend a little bit of quality time at camp. So I shoveled out around the fire pit and around the sawhorse. Gave us a bit of an area where we can set up our chairs and sit comfortably. Took the snow off the roof. And now I'm on my way back out, but it's still early. It's only 3 o'clock. So I figure if I can get some trees down, even if I don't bring them to camp, if I knock them down, tomorrow I can buck them up and bring them down there, and I'll have more time to spend at the cabin instead of up here by myself cutting wood. I could be down there with Anne, cutting it up, splitting it, storing it. But there's this tree that I've been walking past. I've been walking past this thing since we started the cabin down below. I've been watching all the bark fall off. Most of it's gone. This thing is dead. But it's a fair size around. So I'm thinking, if I can take out this big thing, cut it up and get it down to camp, that'll give me plenty of firewood. So I brought the Katanaboy especially for this job. But if we follow this thing, it just keeps going up and up and up. It is way up there. Okay, I've broken up the snow around the back of the tree here. I've tried to bust up the crust as much as I can. Because I'm trying to make it fall this way, something goes wrong, my only escape is back that way. And I didn't want a crust of ice to make me trip, because there's still a lot of snow here. I have to keep the snowshoes on. So I'm going to have to be able to move fairly fast if anything goes wrong. If it doesn't go wrong, then we're laughing. Well, it's partway down. So I think my next step is going to be to try and undercut around here somewhere, so that the weight of it will split it open and it won't bind the saw. And hopefully, once it snaps and releases here, it'll slide back and the top will come down. Or at least, that's the intention. Well, it's not where I wanted it, but it's pretty much down. Oh, I managed to get behind it, and using my square shovel, pushing against it higher up in the tree, I was able to rock it out of there. So now I'm going to cut this up into manageable lengths and get it ready to bring down to the cabin tomorrow. Then I'm going to head for home, and we'll be back in the morning with Anne and Lucy Morning, everyone. We made it down. We haven't been here 5 minutes and Lucy found a sand hole under a tree somewhere. She come out all brown, full of dust. Me? All brown and full of dust. We just got down. I still got to go get a little bit of gear out of the car. We're going to set up and we're going to spend the night, spend the afternoon cutting some firewood, and I got a couple of small little projects I want to get done. I want to cut the post for inside the cabin, and the roof of the woodshed, the cross beam has cracked. So I want to cut a small support that I can stick in there for now until all this snow melts and I can fix it decently. But for now, I think we're just going to sit here for a minute, catch our breath. So we've got both cots set up. The stove is set up. Shortly, Anna's going to bring in the sleeping bags and get those set up. I brought the sleeping pads, but we're not going to blow those up until later tonight so that, with any luck, they won't change temperature and get softer. But all in all, it should turn out to be a great night. So here's what I was saying. I did not anticipate the weight of the snow to be heavy enough this high up that it cracked this beam. Luckily, I've got a gap here, and I've got the same gap on the other side. There's a live tree. Well, it was a live tree last fall, but it fell over, it broke. So I'm going to use that to my advantage. Now that it's broken, it's dead, but it's still strong. So I'm going to try and cut that up, use a piece for inside the cabin as a stand when I'm gone. And I'm going to try and slide a piece in through here just to help support the roof for now. Once the snow melts, I may come back and try and push the roof back up. I will leave this tied because it's holding everything together. But I might replace that small post with a bigger post once I can lift the roof enough. And enjoying a little bit of quality sun time. I'm on my way back to the car just to get the last of the stuff. But since I'm at the top of the hill, here's all that firewood that I cut yesterday. I'm going to try and set up the camera and see if I can slide this down the hill. So here's that tree I was telling you about. It came down sometime over the winter. It is dead. But I think it's long enough that if I start from the base, I'll be able to get a big enough piece to use as a post inside the cabin. And as it narrows out, I should be able to get a long enough piece to brace the roof for the woodshed. And it's taking advantage of one of the most important necessities of cabin life, having a nap. Now, I managed to get these logs most of the way down the hill a while ago, and I've got a rope with a small carabiner. I want to see if I can maybe wrap this rope around Because some of these logs are pretty big. Snug it up. And then see if I can use the rope to skid these out of here. Maybe one at a time, but at least it'll be better than trying to carry them. Now, I'm not going to claim to be the first person who's ever thought of doing this. I'm sure there's plenty of other bushcrafters out there that do it. I've seen it done. It's a great way to pull the logs through snow or mud or anywhere where it'll slide easy. And way before us, years ago, this is how the loggers would pull their logs through. Only they would strap the trees to the horse, and the horse would do the pulling. Now I've already pulled 3 logs down. I think I got 4 more left up there. And I've come to realize something. It sucks to be the horse. So I just checked the thermometer. It's about 8 degrees Celsius right now, which is about 45 degrees Fahrenheit. I've got all the logs down here. So now all that's left is cut, split, and put it away. I cut that log for the cabin and repairing the woodshed. Anne's having a nap, and she said she wanted to strip the log when she gets up. So I think I'm going to sit here for a few minutes and cool down. I had to take my shirt off. I'm sweating. It's hot. The nice part of using the Silky Katanaboy, you don't have to push down on it. Just let the weight of the saw do the work. Take your time. Long, even strokes. There we go. So now that Anne's up, I cut that new log down to size for what I needed. And she's doing her favorite job and stripping them. I'm going to peel off all the bark. That'll make them last a little longer and keep the bugs away from them a little bit. I'm going to go back to cutting some firewood. Once she's got these all peeled, we'll go and set them up. So here's the log that I want to use inside. We don't need it tonight. We're here. But when we leave, I want to wedge it up here and kick it to straighten it out. Put just a little bit of pressure on the roof. And that way, if we get another freak snowstorm and a ton of snow on the roof, I'll have a brace there to help hold the roof. It should not cave in at all. There will be no worries. Now I'm going to lean this in the corner and put it back in before we leave tomorrow. Yeah, Lucy's hogging my bed and putting dirt all over it. Here's the other log we cut. I'm going to put it through the hole here And I'm hoping that the roof hasn't sunk too much that I can get it through the hole on the other side. Oh boy. Oh, yeah, I kind of thought so. Well, it's leaned up there for now, so it's holding it. Wonder if I can. Nope. What if? Put it through this side first. Aha! Now that it's in there, I can tap it with the persuader and it'll help hold the roof. There. Now that, as well as all these ropes still holding a little bit, should hold the roof until the snow melts. And then I can probably cut another one and put it in the same hole to push up the roof again. So that's another job done. So now that those two logs are cut and ready, I'm going to keep cutting some firewood. But first, time for a break. Anne's having a bone shaker, and I'm having a Waterloo Dark. Oh. Welcome back to camp, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. After hauling all those logs, boy, that's well deserved. -8. Or not -8, it's 8.
It's like it's not -8.
No, it's 8. I checked just a while ago, just before you got up from your nap. I'm cutting these logs, but as they're getting shorter, they're getting harder to hold on to, and they always want to tip up as I'm cutting. So I took a short piece of paracord. I already had a small loop at one end. So I wrap it around the log on my side, feed the whole paracord through, add my log, pull the paracord over. I tied a big loop on this end. I drop it down. I can put my foot through that loop and hold that log tight. Now, it doesn't matter what I do on this end, that log's not going to move. So the short log is on. The paracord is draped over it. I put my foot into the loop. And now I can add pressure. And I can cut all I want. The log is not moving anywhere. Out of the 7 logs I carried down, I've cut 6 of them already. I got a nice pile here. The last one is the biggest one. And honestly, I'm getting kind of tired of doing that sawing motion right now. So I'm going to start splitting these. Just to give me a break from cutting for a while. And I might cut this either later tonight or tomorrow when I'm fresh. So Anne's emptying out the last sled load. We got quite a bit out of just that one tree. And we're not done yet. There's still that big log left. But I'm pooped. I'm going to have a beer. I'll cut that thing tomorrow. That tree was a little over 40 feet long. A lot of wood in there.
Mhm.
Oh,
You did good.
we did good.
Teamwork.
Both ladies relaxing in the cabin, sitting by the wood stove, staying nice and warm. So I'm trying to pull the coals to the front here so that I've got some heat going. I put more logs towards the back just so that I can keep those burning, and if I need more coals, I could always pull them to the front as I need them. We brought out President's Choice Angus burgers. I'm gonna pop those on there and get them started. And I've got my fire maple and turkey pot with the steamer. I'm gonna put a little bit of water in there. And I'm gonna set that over there to start slowly warming up. Brought out some gala apples. I'm gonna cut out the cores. I'm gonna grab, these bowls are great because they're heated and they come apart. I'm gonna grab the bottom part and just cut up some apple slices. So the burgers are almost done. I've got President's Choice thick sliced, naturally smoked bacon. They're fully cooked. So I'm basically just throwing them on to warm them up a little bit. Burgers are pretty much ready. So I'm going to put the buns on the toast. Or at least to warm them up a little. Now that the water's good and hot, drop the steamer back in. And I put some of these apple slices in there. And let that steam for just a few minutes. Oh, I need a bowl. They're still a little hard. Whew. But you don't want them too soft or they'll fall apart. Drop in the next batch. And then we've got, in this baggie, there's a little bit of brown sugar and a little bit of cinnamon. So sprinkle a little bit of that onto the hot apples. There's a fork for you. Put the lid on, give it a shake. Apples with brown sugar and cinnamon. Mmm. Perfect. Supper was awesome. Those apples were delicious.
Fantastic.
That was a very good idea. So now I'm sitting on my cot and sitting on her cot. We got the nice fire going. We got the fan circulating the air around. We've got Lucy in the back corner. I've got a closed cell foam pad that I folded up and I put on the, she's got logs underneath her to keep her up off the ground. I put the foam pad on, and then we've got her sleeping bag that's folded in two, and she's got a little blanket on top of her. So she's nice and cozy. We're going to be nice and cozy. It's getting warm in here. What's the temperature? Oh my God. Okay, so it's 25 Celsius in here, which is about 78 Fahrenheit.
25?
25. And I haven't even put any of the hardwood in there yet. I want to make sure she stays nice and warm, so I brought more of those compressed hardwood logs. I don't know how many we're going to use. If I can get it to it's warmer out there, so if I can get it to 25 without the hardwood, with the hardwood, yeesh, might be a little warm for sleeping. Mind you, I just brought the one sleeping bag this time. I brought just a -10 sleeping bag. She's got a similar setup to what I had. She's got two bags, but both of hers are fairly heavy. So she should be nice and warm. I know I'm going to be nice and warm. But now we're just going to sit in here and relax a little bit. Crawl into bed soon. 5 after 9. Probably read for a little while, then go to bed. If I make it. Those logs took a lot out of me today. So have a good night, and we'll see you guys in the morning. Morning, everyone. Trying to be a little quiet. Anne and Lucy are still sleeping. There's the water for the oatmeal. Let's get this coffee going. There. Perfect. I slept like a baby last night. I checked the thermometer when I got up this morning. It was still 10 degrees Celsius in there. Threw a few more logs in, and I came out here so it stays warm while they're sleeping. I checked the thermometer out here, and out here it's -8 this morning, which is about 19 Fahrenheit. It's a little cool. It was a great night though. Got a lot of work done yesterday. Hoping to get a little bit more done today. There's only that one big log there. I'd like to cut that up, get that squared away. And from now on, when we come out, I'm going to try and make a point of do a little job, cut some firewood. And what I'm doing is, as I'm cutting the firewood, if some of it seems a little punky or a little off, I throw it out here. I can burn that outside here. That's not a problem. But whatever's good and solid, I'm putting in the woodshed so that it'll dry over the summer. And it should be good for the wood stove when we come back in the fall. But I'm hoping that by the time we leave for the summer, because once the flies start out here, there's no way. But before we leave, I'm hoping to have a good stockpile in the cabin again, and quite a bit in the woodshed. Just over the hill here, there's a big divot. During the summer, it's dry, but first thing in the spring, when all this snow melts, that's where it all pools. And that's why the mosquitoes and the black flies are so crazy down here. So we get out of here and we go camp in other spots for the summer. This was always meant as a cold weather spot where we can come out, throw in the stove, and stay warm. I'm anxiously awaiting Anne to wake up because I want to see how she slept last night, because that's going to be the big kicker. She stayed warm. That's what all this work is for. So with those compressed hardwood logs I bought, I put one of those logs in there, and then I squeeze in a few of our regular logs in beside it wherever I can. And I'm usually good for about 2.5 hours before I have to get up and put in another log. Yep. Good coffee. Some of you may have noticed the tape on the thumb. No, I did not injure myself. Working in masonry, this is my trowel hand, so there's always a lot of mud that stays around here. And in the mortar, it has a way of drying your skin. And both my thumbs usually tend to, they get so dry that they crack, and when they crack, they split open. When I come out here, I don't want anything getting into those cracks and infecting it. So I wrap a piece of tape around it, and then we're all good. And I've found over the years of working with the masonry, I keep hockey tape in my car, and a little strip of hockey tape I find works better than the medical tape for keeping the stuff out of here. And it also kind of helps to heal it up and close it up a little faster. But what we've done, because of the angle of the roof, I started a pile at the back, stacking them this way. And as soon as the back part of the log, the split log, hits the roof, I stop and I start another pile in the front. So this is the second pile that I've started. And then as I'm coming up past that first pile, I'm putting logs in this way in the back, just so that I can fill that as much as I can to get as much wood as possible in there. Sunk in the snow up to my elbows. Okay. So that, before I started yesterday and completely emptied this, and we brought it over to put onto the table for the fire last night. So this is all from that one tree that we cut down yesterday. Starting to get a good stockpile again. So that's a good job done. That was a lot of wood cutting this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Plus we got the brace for the cabin and the brace for the woodshed. Oh, a lot of work. But it's always nice having you along. We love having your company. But I think we're going to call it a day and end this right here. We got some packing to do. I got to make a couple of trips to the car. So if you liked what you saw, go ahead and hit the like button. If you want to see more of it, hit the subscribe button. And if you're going to do that, you may as well hit the notification bell. It'll let you know whenever we put out a new video. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.